Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm Joseph Lombard, aka N2SC4R, and welcome to another NASCAR Sprint Cup race review. Today I will be discussing the 2016 Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway. First off, I just want to say congratulations to Carl Edwards and the whole 19 team on getting the win at Bristol Motor Speedway. They were just dominant all race long. I think they led over half the race, 276 laps of the 500 laps. I mean, he just had the strongest car all race long, and, you know, it was going to be hard to beat him in this race. And sorry about that. I thought I had my cell phone on silent. Alright, now it's on silent. Okay, so, anyway, congratulations to Edwards. First win of the season. Sixth different driver to win this season. And he does his backflip and gets the Gladiator sword. Alright, so let's get down to what went down into this race. So, the start of the race, Carl Edwards gets the pole for the second straight week. He got the pole at Texas, and then now he got the pole at Bristol. Alright, so the green flag drops. Trouble right at the start for Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's just that he did not go. It seemed like something was wrong with the gears. He just could not get the car going, and it just stacked up the outside lane and everything. I mean, they said it was a gear problem, but, you know, he only lost 2 laps. He pitted right away, and there you go. But great recovery for Dale Earnhardt Jr., though. After what happened to him at the initial start of the race, had to come down pit road, lost 2 laps. He came back to finish second, so that's pretty impressive for him. So that was a great recovery for him, because I thought, oh man, this is going to be a long day for him. You know, right from the get-go. Alright, so, yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. recovered to finish second. That's pretty good. Kyle Busch, who won the last 2 weeks at Martinsville in Texas, has some momentum. He's been good at Bristol Motor Speedway. Actually, he has 17 total NASCAR Series wins at Bristol Motor Speedway, 5 of them in the Sprint Cup Series. He's looking to go 3 in a row and get his 6th win in the Sprint Cup Series at Bristol. Well, let's just say it was definitely a rough day for Kyle Busch. It started early, like on the 50th lap. He pops a tire, goes into the outside wall in turn number 2. Didn't hit too hard, just had to fix the fenders a bit, get all 4 tires, and he's back and going. He had to restart at the rear of the field, but he recovered quickly, got back in the top 10. All of a sudden, oh well, he didn't really get back in the top 10 yet. All of a sudden, he got turned because there was a chain reaction in front of him. He tries to slow down. He gets hit in the back by Chris Buescher, and he goes spinning in turn number 1 and 2. So then he has to restart in the rear again. So Kyle Busch finally gets back in the top 10, recovers again for the second time in the race, and then one more time, blows a tire, except it was even harder this time. Going down into turn number 1, tire pops and bam, he's in the wall. And that pretty much sums up his day there. So Kyle Busch, who was the dominant car the last 2 weeks, Martinsville and then Texas, he got the win. Looking to go 3 in a row, did not happen at all. He ends up going to the garage, and he's done for the day. So it was definitely a rough day for Kyle Busch. What else? I mean, you know, basically there was a lot of tire problems. I mean, Kenseth hit the wall. Denny Hamlin had problems, except he didn't blow a tire, but he had problems on pit road. He got some damage after getting run over by Brian Scott. Let's see. We had a few spins. We had Eric Almirola spinning, Ricky Stenhouse spinning. We had Michael Annett spinning. I mean, we had several cautions. There was a lot of cautions in that race. Like typical Bristol, you get a lot of cautions at Bristol race. There was a lot of them. A lot of spins, a lot of cars going up into the wall. It was just a mess. I mean, I believe Edwards was probably the only car that left without a scratch. I honestly didn't see a mark on Carl Edwards' car. And he ends up winning the race. Also, it seemed like a problem with the Bristol race to me was good, but I think the problem is just that it's just only one groove to run. You know, the outside lane. It's just that it's so hard to pass on the bottom now, unless you get a great run off the corner, get some momentum, and then going down into the corner, you try to make the slide job on someone and then slide right in front of them to gain a position. Other than that, it just seems like the outside lane is just working the most, even on restarts too. I mean, the outside lane just went and the inside lane just did not, you know. So, it just seems like it's not really the old Bristol. It's now still the one groove Bristol, just running the outside lane stuff. Like I said, the only time you can pass anyone is if you get some momentum off the corner, and then going into the next corner, you try to dive it down into the bottom and then pull the slide job in front of someone else, or lap traffic. You know, if someone in front of you is getting caught behind lap traffic and you get enough run to get underneath someone or go to the outside of someone, you got by him right there. Other than that, it's kind of hard to pass at this Bristol, ever since they repaved this Bristol track, you know. So, yeah, I mean, the race was still good in my opinion, don't get me wrong. Just a lot of action, a lot of beating and banging too. And, just, it's still a crazy race. It's still a good race, but if the old Bristol was back, I would so be happy, though. How about some underdogs? Did well. Landon Castle led for 20 laps, and he was holding off Edwards for a few laps until he finally got past. Clint Boyer, did a good job. Trevor Bayne did a good job. But what about Matt Benedetto? In the 83 BK Racing car, finished 6th. It's like, wow. Like I said, you had Landon Castle running up there, which was impressive. Clint Boyer, you haven't seen him run up front a lot in the past couple of seasons. He was up there. Trevor Bayne. Even the Roush cars, most of the Roush cars did so well in this race at Bristol. When was the last time you saw all 4 of the Roush Fenway Racing cars up in the top 10? It's been a long time, so I give them credit that they did a pretty good job. And I gotta give credit to Landon Castle, Clint Boyer, but especially Matt DiBenedetto. Before the race, in this pre-race introduction, he came down dressing up like ZZ Top, with a beard and everything in the guitar. That was pretty awesome. Just having a good old time. And then he comes here to Bristol and just races the best race of his career. And he ends up with a 6th place finish. It's like, damn, it looked pretty special. Even during Matt DiBenedetto's interview after the race, he was just emotional. He was in tears. His whole family was there. His brother just came home from the military, and they all got to witness that, that was really a special moment for Matt DiBenedetto. That was pretty cool to see him finish 6th at Bristol. So, we just had a few underdogs that were running pretty good in this race, but at the end of the day, it was Carl Edwards who was dominant all race long, led over half the race, and he ends up in victory lane and gets his first win of 2016. Does the backflip and gets the Gladiator sword. So, one more time, congratulations to Carl Edwards on getting the win at Bristol Motor Speedway. First win of the season. He's got some momentum now going into Richmond, which is next Sunday. The spring race at Richmond is now moved to a day race on Sunday. It's usually a night race on a Saturday night, but they changed it for this year. So, next Sunday afternoon, Richmond. Short track, 3/4 mile track. Hopefully it's a good race, Kurt Busch won there last year. Kurt Busch did a good job yesterday, too, at Bristol. He finished 3rd. Chase Elliott 4th. And Trevor Bayne finishes 5th. So that was the top 5 right there. Dale Knight Jr. second, and Edwards won. So, on a scale from 1 to 10 for this Bristol race, I give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. There was a lot of action, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of cautions, and what I like is that a few underdogs finished in the top 10. I mean, did so well. That was pretty cool. So I give this an 8 out of 10. It was a good race. But now it's on to Richmond International Raceway next Sunday. NASCAR on Fox. So, 9th race of the season. Kurt Busch won there last year. Will he go back-to-back in the spring race at Richmond? Can Carl Edwards go back-to-back after he won at Bristol? We'll just see what happens. Danny Hamlin's been strong there in the past. So, will he get the win there? We're just going to have to find out and see what happens. Maybe Joey Logano, he could get the win there. We're just going to see what happens next Sunday at Richmond. So, hope everyone enjoyed the Bristol race, and hope everyone enjoyed this review. One more time, congratulations to Carl Edwards on getting the win in the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. His first win of the season, and maybe he'll have more this season as well. So, next Sunday, Richmond. Hope you enjoyed this review. I'm Joseph Lombard, a.k.a. N2SC4R, and I will see you on the next NASCAR Sprint Cup review as I will discuss the Richmond race.